think we're good. All righty, hold on. GM Farcaster. Let's hope this is working right. We hope, we hope. Hey, if you are on chatting with us, let us know if you can hear us okay. Let us know what's going on. We'd love to chat with you while we're doing this. And we've been having, a little bit of tech issues this week. So bear with us. It's all my fault. It's actually HP's fault, but we won't get into that because I will end up talking about the whole time. So let's jump in. I'm just trying to find our chat so we can see if anybody's chatting with us. So let me know. So tell me what has been the big things going on for you this week on Farcaster since we did not get a chance to talk Monday. There's the whole weekend. There was things going on. There's, lots of activity happening. It feels like there's just a lot happening. So let's talk first about channel leads. What do you think about channel leads, and what do you think about this new approach?
Channel leads is exciting.
What
If
is
you saw
channel
my
leads?
test,
What do you think what is channel leads supposed to be exactly? Let's start with
well,
that. On Farcast.
TBD, TBD. So I'll say I threw my hat in the ring. I saw, and look, and I've said this before, but I'll keep saying it. I joined Farcaster. I knew no one. It's been less than a year. Um, I'm obsessively online on Farcaster, and I love it. I've said multiple times I want Farcaster to succeed,
Yes.
which is why I keep coming back. Why do I want that? Can be a topic for another day. Kind of believe in, decentralized social, yada yada yada. Um, and I believe in kind of all of us taking actions like where do I spend my time? Where do I spend my money? They're all votes for the future
I
I want to
so agree with
create.
that. Yep. Yep. Especially time right now. I feel like time is almost a bigger vote. So yeah, so say more about that. Like what do you think Leads is going to how is this helping grow us?
I've been a yeah, and I would say I've been a critic of channels, but I actually haven't been a critic of channels. I just don't totally get them. So I want to cast in my home feed. I follow channels, I go to them. I'm also willing, and I've said this or I've casted about this, I'm willing to be in the minority and be wrong and
Yep.
be willing to say,
Same.
okay, maybe channels will work. Let's see. Let's see.
Strong
Um,
opinions loosely held, that kind of thing.
yeah, I just, uh, Dan is such a hashtag hater, but hashtags to me are permissionless.
Yeah.
Anyone can start it. You can do like it's a looser format. So the channels, which is Merkel decides which channels, Merkel
Right.
decides when they come out. It's rigid.
True.
It kind of rubs me and it doesn't feel good to me. But I also am willing to believe that in a new, kind of social network, giving people these frameworks to say, this is how you can like, is our channel is going to look the same in 6 months from now, in a year from now, maybe not. Um,
Right.
so so as much as I don't really get them to me personally, I kind of like it. And I've been looking for ways to get involved more. I really like this permissionless approach
I do too.
of
Yeah.
Farcaster. So going back, how did we meet? At FarCon?
At FarCon. Yep.
Organized, permissionless, organized
Totally
conference.
permissionless. Yeah. Dan was not in charge. Merkel wasn't in charge. It was the community, which I loved that. I thought that was such a great way to do it. It was completely crowdsourced too. So BuilderDAO, when I saw they were doing it, I'm like, we should sponsor this and we should go and be there. And it was because of Purple and because of everything, Chris Corella and crew have done. Like, to me, it made a lot of sense. It really aligned. And I honestly, I say this a lot, I'll say it again, feel like that was a life-changing moment. That community connection, like being in that room, like I'm going to remember that forever. There's no doubt in my mind. And that's when I first heard the word senius.
That's right.
The first
And
time
can
I
I
ever heard senius. Yes. And I had no idea what it was. So, um, Yeah, that's and now you and I consider
So,
you the queen of the seniors.
the queenius
The queenest.
of I am the queenius of the seniors. So GM TLDR. And all I'll say about channels is, like I said, it doesn't matter. I'm looking for ways to contribute
Yes.
beyond just my obsessive casting.
Excessive
So
casting.
I threw my hat in the ring for two channels, and
Which
if anyone's
channels?
on the stream, see if you can guess what they are, and I will.
Ah, that's a good one. Okay, yeah. So let's see your guesses in the chat. I'm now like making sure I'm back in here so I can see. And there was that epic Dow panel. Yes, that was an epic panel. I will say that. Thank you, Johnny. That was a lot of fun. And I'm still waiting for the recording for that Dow panel that I want to share everywhere because it was really a great chat. But all of them were. Like I wanted so my idea, like when I came back from FarCon, was to write about all these different sessions, but I wanted the recordings to refresh, and I've been waiting for Cameron to do that. So Cameron, lean in here, buddy. Can we get those recordings, please? I need those. But so I know one of them for sure. So I don't want to guess over other people. So I want to see if, hey, TLDR, if you're listening, give us a guess. What do you think are the two channels that Adrian put in for channel lead? I mean, I one was so obvious to me, but I could guess the other one too, but I'm not. I don't want to throw it out there and mess it up. So we'll see
Now,
what
what about you?
comes
Did
out.
you consider going for a lead? Are you overextended, or is it not
I am I am
your
like the
interest?
definition of overextended, which usually doesn't stop me from jumping into something new. But in this case, like the only channel lead that makes sense for me is Builder DAO, and that is something that I don't think we need a channel lead for. And here's why: because I'm already the community resident for Builder DAO. We have a couple other people who are ops working group and things like that. I feel like if you then put lead on top of my head or give that definition or that title to somebody in that channel, if it's me, then it might feel like I'm going to control what people are posting, and I don't want that. And I don't think that's needed. So I don't want that feeling for anybody. And then if you had somebody else who was the lead, that might be weird too. So it's kind of like I don't think we need a lead, not for Farcaster. I think it's been working really well. I feel like for DAOs, the channels are a huge unlock. And I've said this a few times. I said this right from the beginning to Dan, um, that I felt like DAOs can get so much from having a channel, from having a space that's public and private at the same time. And what I mean by that is it feels like it's your own. You're not lost in the mess of like a home feed, but at the same rate it's open and people can see what you're doing, they can see what you're talking about, they can jump in. It's not our channels anyways are not token gated per se, like you can come in and talk even if you don't hold that token, but it's filtered and focused so that like this in this channel this is what we're talking about, and that to me just makes a much more open conversation. And I've already seen so much benefit from it, like tremendous, like where we have a lot more active engagement in discussions and voting. Because the other thing that's happening is we have Alphacaster, which they just won a grant, a retro grant from Farcaster from Merkel. So that was congratulations
Okay,
to everybody.
congratulations,
That was
AlphaCaster.
yeah, all the things like think Searchcaster won a big one. A few others like won some big ones. So congratulations. That's amazing. And then so having that vote notifications, proposal notifications, we're trying to get our another bot that we have called Bot Friends to do those within the channels. All of that really helps that communication. And DAOs are all about people. So if we're not talking to each other, that's when problems happen. Hey, nouns. Hey, nouns. Let's keep talking so we don't have more problems. And that's been really fun to watch. That's a great example of that. There's only a few DAO channels. There's Purple, Builder DAO, Nouns, and they just added Lil Nouns and NARS. So we have a few channels that are popping up now that are DAO focused, and I think that's going to be huge for DAOs. And I already see such better conversation happening within the nouns channel than what we've been having in all the fractured discords because we have 1,000 of them. So you've got a group here, you've got a group here, you've got a group here, none of them are talking to each other. And that's been the biggest problem that we've had in Nouns. So I see that, Farcaster solving problems post divorce. Thank you for our therapy sessions that are happening
Right.
in the Nouns channel. So, do we have any guesses? What do we think? What do we think?
Um, well,
No guesses
TLDR
yet.
also shout out to Alpha Caster.
Yeah. Yeah, AlphaCaster is
Um,
really, really a fabulous tool
so
for DAOs for sure. Yeah.
go cast about it right now, TLDR.
Yeah. Go cast.
What do we need to know about Alpha Caster and what credit do they deserve?
And I love Bill Z from Purple, who created AlphaCaster, but he's also building on top of that a audio version, so like a Twitter Spaces, but for Farcaster, which I've been asking. And there's somebody else doing that as well. There's a couple different um, launches that have been happening, and he's doing that on something called a Bora. So I think AlphaCaster may become a Bora. I'm not sure what's happening or if that's a separate product, but trying to, adding that Twitter Space vibe to Farcaster, which I think is going to be helpful as well. So I think we need the streaming for those who have faces for radio instead. Um, you can just you don't have to be streaming on video. There are days, man. There are days where I'm just like, that's. I think that's why Twitter Spaces has been so much easier to like. It doesn't matter if you don't feel like you look good or what you know what I mean. Like you're not having a good hair day or something. It's like you don't care. So I just have to move into that you don't care for this as well, and then I'll be
Have
fine.
you were you zooming and doing
Yeah.
online before COVID?
A little bit. And then I did
Hmm.
once COVID hit, like I've done a ton. So I used to stream weekly with a group called Poapathon, and we did a Web3 stream that we were doing from like through 2021, pretty much, and a little bit into 2022. So yeah, so I've been doing some things like this for a while, but mostly it's been post COVID. So yeah, a little different. So
All right.
back to
Well, you
channel
have a
leads.
face. No,
Yeah,
I just want to say you have a face for Zoom
thank you.
for the video, and I love seeing it.
And so do
Um,
you. I love seeing you here.
I've been working like remotely for
Oh,
15
right.
years,
Mm.
and I would work at a company where everyone was on site and I was the one remote. So I'm the one who was on
Oh,
Zoom.
wow.
So I would always be getting dressed up and putting makeup
Yeah.
on and like just really doing my best to look good. And what kind of once everybody moved to COVID, it was like,
Yeah, you're
it's
like,
cool.
forget it. Yeah.
And I'm a fan.
Yeah. I am a fan too. I am a fan of video calls in general. I do think they're better than audio calls when you're doing a one-on-one. I think you get you know, all the hand gestures. For God's sakes, I use my hands so much. Yeah, all those just a different vibe, right? It builds just a different level of trust. So I think that's super helpful. I want to circle back really quick to channel leads. Yeah, AlphaCaster is a Rails for what Nouns, DAO, et cetera, can use when they're part to Farcaster. Yeah, which I think is huge as well. I agree. Um, so with channels, with the channel leads, what do you see that role as? Like when you're signing up to do this, what do you see that your role as being as a channel lead?
I don't know. And I'm really good at you know what I'm bad at is coming up with the expressions of like all the idioms. What is it?
Yeah,
Like oh I don't do it's not the measure twice, cut once. I'm like,
yeah,
shoot first, ask questions later. I
yeah,
don't know. I'm like, I love Farcaster. I love engaging with people. I love channels. Like, let's do this, figure it
yeah.
out later. I know the stated goal, right, is increase daily active users on the protocol.
Right, right. So to me, like what I see being that person who comes in and with the GM in the morning and adds some content that's interesting that people can talk about. I see it more of like that, of like, making sure things are kind of staying on track and getting people engaged and making it a comfortable place for people to talk. And also being on the lookout for those spammy people who might come in, especially when we get permissionless or those, posts that really shouldn't be there, those kind of things. But I see it less as a moderation and more as like a let's keep the director of
Curation.
vibes, director of vibes.
Yes.
Curation.
Director of
Curation.
vibes. I mean, there's maybe some light moderation, light
Right.
curation. My goal, if I end up leading one of these channels, is not either like a top down, this is the lead, we're controlling, but how do you make the channel a space to facilitate so that, right? It's
Yes.
you're getting more and more participation.
And you're getting like
And
more solid content and more like things
mhm.
that make people want to show up to that channel, right? Being that that's yeah, definitely what I see. And that's why I think you'd be fantastic at any of these channels that you are super involved in. And I threw your name out there for one as well. I said you would be great at this, so I would love to see it. Um, and I'd love to see, lots of women jumping in who, if you have the time, throw your hat in the ring. Why not? Get out there, or anybody really who's just, looking to get more involved. I think it's a great, easy lift way to do it, where, especially if you're in that channel every day anyway, why not? Why not be that person who's the go to? One thing that's funny in the Builder DAO channel is it just says builder. So we randomly just get devs dropping in.
Oh,
It's funny
yeah,
with like
that's awesome.
random builder questions. It's funny. Um, I'm casting my vote for you guys as channel leads. I don't think we vote on this.
A vote I don't have.
By the way, what's really funny is that I think my life in DAOs is really, it's like tweaking my brain. So I'm sitting in like a faculty meeting and I'm like, I don't believe we voted on this. I'm literally in my brain. Like my boss is saying, this is the way this is going to happen. And I'm sitting there going, I don't remember that vote. Where's that proposal? And I'm like, oh yeah, this is not a DAO. Like you don't have rights there. It's really funny. Um, anyway, of course, we're getting down to our last like 4 minutes. What what else has been jumping out at you on Farcaster that we need to touch on before we head into our final minutes? Thank goodness.
Um,
Anything else jumping out at you that was like that was the big thing for
in
me was the channel leads for sure.
Yeah, I mean, in the last 12 hours, what's jumped out at me is the conversation around hub storage, who's
Yes.
paying for it, behavior. Once you see you have limited and you're paying for it, how does that change behavior? So,
Mm,
um, there's a new app, Cast or site, caststorage.com, built by Sam Deck, SAMMDEC at ETH, that put in your Farcaster name. It'll tell you exactly how much of your hubs you're using. Now, thank you, Merkel, who for all of us have prepaid our first year.
I
But it
know. Thank
started
you.
popping up, and all of a sudden people see, well, I'm over my storage. And guess what counts as storage? Likes, reactions.
Yeah.
So there was a whole conversation about people saying, well, I have to pay for likes. I'm going to stop liking. So it's interesting. And the only thing I'll say is Dan had a cast. I don't know when it was, and he just said, "Look, like he said, don't overthink it."
Yeah, I
And
saw
I'm just
that.
laughing because
Yeah.
like you're literally talking to 20,000 people who overthink. Like,
Yeah.
of
You're
course, we're
like
gonna overthink everything.
here's a community of overthinkers. Here we are.
We're here because we overthink. So just great. I'm excited to see, and there was some funny conversation last night about how that behaves. So my stated goal, and I said I'm trying to become really whorish with my likes. Like I just want to go around and just like it's a it's a price to pay to spread.
That's funny. I love that. Oh, no, I lost you. Don't go away. Not now. Where are you? Oh, no. Hope it's not me. Maybe she's still talking. Maybe you still hear her. I don't hear her. No, my connection's lost. And I'm back.
Okay, who's can we follow the bandwidth? Follow the money, follow the bandwidth. I don't know who lost who.
I
I'm
don't know
sorry.
either.
Better than less tech problems than Monday. So,
Yes, we'll
Prof, we
take
have
it.
one more minute. We have one more minute to finish our cup of coffee.
Okay, so we're finishing our cup of coffee, and actually, I was drinking water today because I had my coffee earlier, or my tea. So I do want to say this about hubs because I was talking earlier. Yeah, I've got my flamingo cup today. with my
This
water.
is
Lovely.
my periodic chart of
Oh my
elements.
God, I love it.
So
I
this
love
is a
that.
shout out to chemistry.
I love it. I was thinking about the hubs thing and I'm like, do I need a hub? And I'm like, I don't think I need a hub. Why would I need a hub? But it's something I haven't thought about before. And I find this very interesting. Like if you're running a project on Farcaster, obviously you need a hub. If you're just a user, do you need a hub? I don't know. But it is interesting to see this whole storage discussion and how we don't think about it, right? We just go through our world and we hit like and we don't think about it. And it's interesting to rethink what's happening in the background. So I think that's pretty cool. Um, Hopefully you guys didn't lose us, but you might have. Please underthink this and come to the conclusion I desire from like. All right. So what are you looking forward to today for the rest of your day or for the next couple days?
Um,
I'm looking forward to seeing who the leads are and which channels because I think that'll be
yeah, me
interesting.
too.
I think that'll be interesting. By the way, if you have leads and DAO channels, they're absolutely going to want to be paid by that DAO. So I'm just letting you know that's another reason not to have one. So um, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that. And I'm also going to be working with TLDR on a something fun coming soon. Hopefully, I can talk about it on Friday with you. So
Can't wait. And I guess I'm looking forward to continuing this experiment. And just, I know we said in the beginning,
yeah,
just we're surrounded by people who I think understand what it takes to do anything new. But it's still annoying when you tell someone we're going to be streaming at this time and then you don't. So
yeah.
I have and anyone who's hanging with us, we appreciate the love and support, and we're gonna try to get this a little smoother.
And the highlight reel, I said I was laughing to myself, and I know we're over time, but I was laughing the other day because I was like, the highlight reel of week one is going to be phenomenal. It's going to be like day one, we're kind of cut off. Day two, jarbled audio. Day three, black screen. Day four, this little glitch. Not bad. I mean,
Not bad.
not bad. But the highlight reel, it's looking great. We'll look back on this and laugh.
All right.
Actually, we're laughing already because why not? All right, everybody, that's it for us today. We're gonna go hopefully cut this recording, and it will be up in just a little bit. And thanks for hanging with us today. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Have a great day.
Bye. And stop. And